Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. Today we're going to go over a pistol that I have quite the rocky history with. And through all the trials and tribulations and months of trying to fix this pistol, it's time. It's finally time to get this video done. I think I'm ready. And that is of the Combat Armory CA19 complete pistol. This is Combat Armory's complete pistol. I have done a video on the frame itself before. Let's get into the months-long journey I've had with this pistol to get it to the point where it's at today. All right, so for full transparency, I have zero relationship with Combat Armory. I have used some of their things in the past. I did review, like I said, this frame, just this frame. In fact, this frame right here in the past. And I actually called it the worst aftermarket Glock 19 frame on the market. And I actually still stand by that. With that said, I got a ton, and I mean a ton of flack from a bunch of no name, no profile picture, no verifiable experience, internet trolls that just couldn't handle that I didn't like that frame. They said I didn't know how to build a gun. They said I didn't understand stacking tolerances. They said I didn't understand how to check all the various things when it came to putting together a Glock pistol. That's what I was told over and over and over again by people who have their egos wrapped up in the firearm, or in this case, firearm frame of their choice. So when Combat Armory came out with their complete pistol, I thought, you know what? I could be wrong. Maybe I don't know how to build a gun, even though there's years of verifiable experience on this channel that says otherwise. Maybe I just don't. Maybe I'll buy Combat Armory's complete pistol and everybody will be right. Well, they weren't. Now, for those that have the attention span of the average TikTok post, this is going to be a long video. It's going to be a lot of talking, and it's going to be very in-depth. So you probably, A, won't understand it, and B, you'll get bored with it. So to give you a spoiler, this thing does run okay, or it runs fine now. Did not when I got it, and we will go over those things throughout the video. So let's go back in time a little bit. I got this pistol, and for those of you who were on my old Instagram page, the one that got banned and deleted by Instagram for reasons unknown because of Meta and Instagram and their inability to understand firearms posts. When I got this pistol, it went full auto right out of the box. I would pull the trigger and pop up, or pop 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 pop. You know, I almost went through a full mag at a couple points at time. And I was all set to make, matter of fact, I did make a video to completely eviscerate this pistol after I got it. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I jumped the gun a little bit by calling the Combat Armory frame the worst aftermarket frame on the market. And I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. The G19 Gen 3 clone from Combat Armory is the worst pistol, aftermarket Glock clone pistol on the market. Let's get into that. Now, why would I say such a blasphemous thing as calling this a bad pistol? Why do I want to hurt so many tender little feelings out there? So let's get into it. Oh yeah. What was that, a 5-round burst? 4 or 5-round burst? So The first mag I put through it, I had a single 2-round burst. Second mag, I had two 2-round bursts. And then when I made the Instagram video, I had 3 or 4 2-round bursts. That was a 4 or 5-round burst. Now, a bunch of people who can't take the truth about products said, first they accused me of being a gun snob because it didn't cost a lot of money, therefore he hates it. Because those idiots have never been around my channel, because most of the things on my channel are on the budget end. Second thing is, the one trigger I did get to basically work in the gun went full auto before on the original, on the frame that I bought. And this one is doing the same thing. Now, this is where people told me, well, didn't you check the sear connection and the fit and function and blah, 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 you gotta be a gunsmith and blah. Oh, God. Sometimes having open comments on videos is really, really telling about the jackasses online. Go bitch at Combat Armory, not me. Because they couldn't make it work either. Because I thought for sure, maybe I don't know how to build a pistol. Maybe all those internet YouTube trolls that just couldn't fucking handle it in their peasy little brains, that possibly I had problems with this frame. That possibly I did have mechanical problems with this frame, and I did put it together right. People just couldn't handle that. And when I got this pistol and it had the exact same problem I had with that frame, I felt a little vindicated. And yes, I had a bit of an attitude in that video, just like I have a bit of an attitude towards those same assholes in this video. So, before I published the video that I started making about this, I left a review on Combat Armory's website and said it went full auto, it's low quality piece of trash basically, and they contacted me based off of that review. Now understand, and this is what I think is important, is that they contacted me based off of that review, not the fact that I'm a YouTuber. They had no idea until the second or third email in, second phone call in, that I had a YouTube channel. So I will say right up front that as soon as it was made aware to them that there was a problem, their customer service team was on it, and on it hard. Like they certainly wanted to make it right. Now I say that part about being a YouTuber is important because there is the theory, and rightfully so, that because there are companies out there that treat YouTubers differently than they treat the average customer. And there are companies out there that build very specific guns, very specific quality control guns for YouTubers to review that is not indicative of what the average consumer would get. So the fact that they did not know that I had this platform to do this on, to completely just annihilate them on video, that they wanted to take care of me before they knew any of that stuff. Awesome. Very, very good customer service. So step one, I'm going to try to make sure that this is in correct chronological order, but of probably 6 or 8 emails, and each of those emails having a thread of 4 to 8 emails on each thread, plus a half dozen or so phone calls, maybe even more. Some of the timeline I have a little foggy on, especially because it's been over the course of 2.5 months or something like that. But very first, the gun went full auto right out of the box. So they said that they had a problem with their outsourced triggers, and the cruciform was too flat. So if you know anything about Glock cruciforms, the basically engagement, the trigger pin or the striker engagement area of a Glock trigger, there is a bit of a bend to it, because as the trigger or cruciform goes back, it also drops down and eventually lets go of the striker, firing the round and then resetting. They said it was too flat and I wasn't getting full engagement. And that's their trigger that they put in this. This is no longer has anything to do with the original frame that I got from them, that I bought from them. Mind you, this is also purchased from them. This was not sent to me. So they sent me a return label. I sent this back to them. They put a new trigger in it and they put a new barrel in it. They put the new barrel in it because they wanted me to kind of start fresh, right? That there wasn't much wear on anything else, but going full auto and maybe some erosion and things like that, rifling, whatnot, heating up issues. I don't know if any of that is even a thing in the limited amount of rounds that I went through, but they went over and above and threw a new barrel in it and the new trigger and sent it back to me. Now I got it and I was like, awesome. Awesome. I really wanted this gun to work well. And I really wanted this gun to work well because I really wanted it to bury the dagger market. Because these come in, YouTube sensors, I'm going to tell what these cost roughly. And I'm not selling anything, I'm just letting the viewers know pertinent information. Because these come in right around 220 to 250 bucks, so right in there. I think I paid $220 for it on sale, or right at the early part of its release. But they're probably right around $250 right now. So I really wanted these to crush the dagger market. And when I got it and it didn't work, I was upset. So I get it back and got it out of the box, took it to range, loaded up a mag, bang! Failure to extract. Clear it. Bang, bang, bang! Failure to extract. Clear it. Bang! Failure to extract. No longer having the full auto issues, but now I'm having failure to extract issues. So, now that the sun's not in the camera anymore, this is the fourth or fifth failure to extract. It happened, I put this ETS mag in because I have zero faith in Magpul Glock mags. I think they're some of the worst of the market personally. So that round did go off. Let's see if it does it again. But I switched mags to see if it was a magazine problem. So that, like I said, was the fourth or fifth one. Okay, that fed the rest. That's a fired round failure to extract. Now it's reshot. Now that video clip that you just saw was one of 3 or 4 that I sent to them because this is now going to turn into a process. I take it out to the range, I try it, it doesn't work. They send me something to fix it. I try it again, it doesn't work. They send me something to fix it, and so on and so on. So you will see those pieces of cell phone footage throughout this video as they come along chronologically. I sent that back to them, I sent that video to them, and they said maybe it's the barrel. There's a possibility that the barrel was out of spec. So they sent me a brand new barrel. I believe it was 2 barrels actually, but they sent me a brand new barrel, at least one. And bang, failure to extract, failure to extract, failure to extract. And now what I had was spent casings that were not stuck in the chamber, they just didn't extract. Like the extractor didn't hold on to them. So I sent them another video. All right, so I have removed the barrel that came back with the gun after you sent the gun, or after, I sent the gun to you. So this is the barrel that was in it that I was having the failures to extract. I have put the barrel back in. I'm guessing it's this one. It's the only one with wear on it. Right? And there's some wear, a little bit of wear on the barrel, and a little bit of transfer on the feed ramp. So I have 10 rounds of MagTech 115 grain brass in the Magpul mag that originally came with this gun. I have yet to open the second Magpul mag that you sent back with the gun after repairs. So 10 rounds, MagTech 115 grain. Okay. Okay. Cool. Let's do 10 more. All right, 2-for-1 special here. Here's 10 more in it. 10 more in it. And I commented on the last video about how accurate I thought it was. So I'm gonna go ahead, this is about 10 yards. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this target right here. Headshots. That was dead center of the credit card right there. We'll take a look at it when I'm done. All right. Fairly fast shooting. Not bad. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. Some of that's me. A lot of that's me, probably. Let's go for another mag. A different mag. All right, this is a Glock 17 mag. It's actually a 19X, right? But it's got the Strike Industries +5 aluminum base plate on it. 10 rounds. That's no good. Same failure to extract. Let's go back to, well, let me finish this off. Second to last round. Lock back. Let's go back to the Magpul mag. All right, 10 more rounds. Magpul that came with the gun. So they said the possibility exists that because of going full auto, because of some issues that it was having, that maybe the extractor in the slide that came with the gun had been chipped, broken, cracked, or otherwise there was something wrong with it. So they sent me a brand new slide, complete slide, minus the barrel, minus the recoil spring. So striker, the whole upper completion kit, brand new slide and brand new extractor in it, which is what is on here right now. 15 rounds. All right, here we go. The magazine obviously isn't the problem. So I'm gonna finish this mag. So I sent them that video and they sent me back a box of barrels. They said that the possibility exists that the barrel that they sent me was out of spec, that some guy, that works for them may have picked it up off the engineering table and it was out of spec, or one of the ones that maybe didn't work right. So they sent me a box of barrels, and there was fluted barrels, threaded barrels, standard barrels, gold barrels, black barrels, a whole 9 yards. So now we're at a sampling of barrels. We're at a brand new slide, a brand new extractor, a brand new trigger. And the guy that I've been talking to on the phone and emailing with and all that, Noah, great guy, that's his name, Noah, said, you know what, I'm going to send you another barrel. I've spec'd this barrel front to back, top to bottom, chamber, the whole 9 yards. Let's try this again. So new barrel. That's the barrel that's in this right now, is the one that he said he spec'd out. Got it back, and yeah, failure to extract. So I am well over 500 rounds into this process at this point, and we are scratching our head. We are like, what the hell could this be? I'm now invested into this almost as much as they're invested into this, trying to figure out what the hell this could be. The only other thing that interacts with the barrel that we could think of is the locking block. So he sent me a brand new lower parts kit, new trigger again, lower parts kit, locking block pins, the whole 9 yards. And all I did initially, the whole lower parts kit is in this now, but all I did initially was change out the locking block, because the rest of the parts don't matter. This pin, right, that holds in the trigger housing doesn't matter up here, right? So I didn't care about anything else. Everything else was working, but that locking block was the only other interaction with the barrel that could, like with the tilting of the barrel and whatnot. And sure enough, it worked. And it has worked now for about 400 rounds, 300 to 400 rounds. So now that it's functioning correctly, something I missed in the timeline of things is that it was right around the third or fourth phone call and email that it came out that I did in fact have a YouTube channel, for a couple reasons. Number one, there was a lot of explaining like how a firearm works, because they have to do that. Like if they're on the phone with somebody, they don't know the person's experience, but it was partly to just be like, yes, I'm very aware of how this works, and we could just kind of cut it down, you know, trim the fat off the conversation just to keep this going. Also, they needed to know that all of this was going to happen, that this video was going to happen, you know, and I was never shy about that. Like, look, all of these steps, all of these issues, and all, you know, the customer service and whatnot, functionality issues, all of this will be on video. But now it runs fine. So what do I like and don't like about it? A lot of this is going to be a reiteration of the previous video when it came to the frame video, because it's all the same things I don't like about this frame, with the exception of this finally works versus I never got that frame to work correctly, that other frame. 3 or 4 triggers in it. 1 went full auto, 2 triggers didn't work well, things like that. So with the exception of now this actually works, a lot of the complaints are the same. One, let's go to what I like about it first. I like a few things about it, that the grip texture is nice. It's kind of a stubbly grip texture. I do wish there was some more up here in the beaver tail, but the grip feels good in the hand. The frame is Glock holster compatible, which is awesome, and is one of the reasons why I was hoping this would like really put a ding and, you know, put a ding in the dagger market, is because this is actually Glock holster. Like when you say I'm a Glock clone, you may as well build a Glock clone. Like it needs to fit Glock holsters and actually use Glock parts, which this one does. So I like the frame. I like the fact that it's basically a Glock frame in the front, Glock holster compatible, Glock trigger guard with a little bit of an extra undercut here, which is really nice. I like the stippling. It's Gen 3 style, so it has the standard mag release there. So all of that's good stuff. I really like all that stuff. The slide itself, I do like the design of the slide. I like the cuts in it. I like the look of the slide. It is not optics ready, although you can get this milled, and optic milling is very, very inexpensive. So that's all cool. I like the aesthetic. Like, I like the look of this. I like the aesthetic of this. What I don't like about it, the biggest thing I don't like about it, the biggest gripe, and this is something I talked to them on the phone about, is that they wiped out any recoil mitigation ledge or thumb ledge there. I couldn't figure out why they did it. You know, if you are putting your thumb on this ledge, not ledge, but this rear facing portion here that has some stippling on it, all it does is turn into a $220 nail file. Like, you have to push forward on it to really gain any sort of control, and instead of pushing down like every other Glock frame, aftermarket Glock frame on the market. So that was a big thing. It's like you're handicapping shooters right off the bat. And I understand that, oh, if you just had a better grip and all this, dude, whoever's going to say that, you don't have a better grip than I do. I promise you, you don't. I have to look out for all shooters that may watch my videos. And at the $250 price range, there's going to be a lot of new shooters, entry-level shooters that are getting this. And having that thumb ledge there is absolutely an objective asset versus not having it. Now, in conversations with them, they do realize that that was a mistake. They admit to me on the phone that wiping that whole thing out was a mistake. So I hope that's something that they change in the future. When I talked to Noah on the phone, he's a little cryptic about whether or not there was changes being made for that. So I don't know if it is or is not. And anything I say shouldn't be taken as they are or are not. I'm just letting you know what was said. Now, shooting it, chamber's fine. It takes all the magazines that I would ever want to put in it. I've used ETS mags in it. I've used Magpul mags in it. I've used Glock. It came with a Magpul mag. Used Glock mags in it. KCI mags, which is, I'm pretty sure what I'm using today is KCI mag there. So it's compatible with all the Glock mags. Shooting it, it shoots nice. It's nice and accurate. It does well. As far as the trigger, as far as their trigger goes, it might be a little bit more crisp than an OE Glock trigger. Just a little bit more, but not considerable. So, it's absolutely a $250 gun. Like, there's nothing. There's nothing super impressive about it, but as far as like what the gun is now, it's absolutely a good value. So with all the testing that I've done, including the 300-ish shots that I've had through it since it finally started running right, would I recommend this gun? Whew, that is a loaded question, because I could recommend this gun, if you follow me. I absolutely could not recommend the gun that I bought, which is the one that went full auto and then had ejection or extraction issues and things like that. I can recommend this gun. And if this is the gun they're selling today, if the gun that they're selling today works this reliably and works this well, I could probably recommend it, because it fills the role that some other popular dagger, I'm just going to say it, Glock knockoffs or Glock clones, that they don't fill. Like, it's really inexpensive. It has with the exception of this being wiped out, I think it has a better frame on it. It's Glock holster compatible, all Glock part compatible, and things like that. So take that for what it's worth. I mean, this is it. This is what I've used. So I could recommend this pistol that I'm holding in my hand right now. I couldn't recommend the pistol that I bought. So, and I'm sure anybody out there with more than a brain cell looking in the mirror for company would understand why I say that. With that said, what I've taken away from this journey with Combat Armory is that if you do purchase one and it doesn't work correctly, they will move mountains to make sure it does. Is that to excuse it not working correctly? No. But they have shown me that they will absolutely cross seas and move mountains to make sure that your gun functions properly when they're done with it, if it's not working correctly when you get it. That's my takeaway from it. And I hope that's enough of an answer for you guys, because I can't be any more specific than that. And so that is it. If you want to get more videos from me, hit that like, share, subscribe button, leave a comment down below, especially if it's a constructive comment. You know, not some asshat that's just like, you don't know how to build a gun. Yeah, especially if it's a constructive comment. And I'd like to know your thoughts on the process, and I'd like to know your thoughts on the things that I went through and all that as it pertains to this, because it's not a whole lot of people have this long of a journey in a firearm that was new from the factory. Head on over to my Instagram, check that out, that new Instagram page after my old one got deleted. And that's about it. Thank you to all my paid supporters out there, members of the channel and so on. You guys are awesome. And we'll talk to everybody later.